Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hey, Poppy, love the hat.
Well, it's that time, you know.
Yes, it is. Sallie Ann Glassman, who, of course, is a practitioner of voodoo, Haitian Voudo, and very much a community activist. Lots to talk about with Sallie Ann. Hey, Sallie Ann. Nice to see you. Hello. Tom Hook and Wendell Brunious, who are performing a Louis Armstrong tribute these days at the National World War II Museum. And, of course, we'll be talking about that. Thank you. Welcome, y'all. And then Alan Smason of TheaterCriticism.com and the Crescent City Jewish News. Before we go to Poppy, I have to show you the cutest little cookies Joan Farrell Mathis did them for us. And we've got the Tootsie Roll Pops, too, which Maria Cachetta made. So really, really darling. Joan Farrell Mathis, thank you. And Maria Cachetta, of course. Poppy, one French Quarter eatery has a new personality.
Well, Peggy, before we get to that, since it is Halloween, I'm so sorry I can't be with you at the studio today because we have big fans in San Francisco. Sallie Ann knows them too. Our buddies Mark and Ted sent some fabulous treats. But the trick is I'm going to have to eat them all myself, I guess. I'm sorry about that. But love that, Mark and Ted. Hi, y'all. So, yes, you know, there's going to be a lot going on in the quarter this weekend. And if you are looking for just the right spot to celebrate, the Will and the Way is a hot new spot on Toulouse Street, formerly Longway Tavern. It's on Toulouse between Royal and Bourbon. And of course, this is from Robert LeBlanc and Liam Dagan. There's a great wine list. Of course, there's fabulous cocktails. The gorgeous patio is going to be divine this weekend. And the menu includes Asian things, sort of tapas things, but also Natchitoches meat pies and the prerequisite Brussels sprouts that everybody loves. So I'm having the Will and Way burger, which is finished with a red wine foie gras butter. That would be right up my alley. And while we're talking about wines and delicious things, Antoine's next Thursday on the 4th is going to be doing a Justin Winemaker dinner, 4 courses with their fall menu, 6 different wines will be poured that night. And speaking of wine dinners, Boucherie, uptown on Jeanette Street, there's my buddy Nathaniel Zimmett. There are some very cool New Orleanians who have vending machine wines, and he's collaborating with them on what he's calling a wine dive dinner on the new patio space. You see, there's the purple truck we all learned to love Nathaniel in. There's going to be canapes and 4 courses. Delicious things like squab poutine with confit leg gravy, a cheeseburger Wellington. Dessert is Satsuma Dreamsicle, but the winemakers, Monica Bourgeois and Neil Gurnan, will be there. That's next Wednesday, so not this one, the following one, Make those reservations now. That's going to be a fun and delicious night, too.
All right, Poppy, be back with you in just a bit. Moving on to Sallie Ann. It's hard to believe, but it's the 41st annual celebration, of course, of the Day of the Dead and paying homage to those, our loved ones. But also, it's called Fet Gede. Am I pronouncing it? Who was Gede?
Gede. Fet Gede.
Gede, okay.
So, yeah, 41 years is kind of dating me a little bit. I can't claim to be 25 anymore. But we're absolutely thrilled to be able to do the Day of the Dead and Fet Gede at the New Orleans Healing Center this year. COVID has allowed us to go forward, so we're very excited. Gede is a spirit in Vodou who kind of rules over the dead, the legions of the dead. And his colors are purple and black and white. He's not so much a scary figure, as you might imagine, being the figure of death and sex and regeneration, but he's sort of comically grotesque, and he can be embarrassing, and he can out people who are posturing. But for people who are being sincere, and especially for people who are at the crossroads between life and death, he's a mighty healer and a very sympathetic and honest fellow. So we go to him aware of his characteristics and appeal to him for bringing our dead back to us so we can visit with them and enjoy their presence. And it corresponds, he's celebrated in Haiti the entire month of November, but especially the first 2 days. And that corresponds with the Days of the Dead in Mexico, when families go out and decorate graves and light candles and transform the graves into altars and celebrate the return of their dead, because at this time of year, the veil between the living and the dead is most diffuse.
Absolutely, and you'll be starting to gather around 5:30. And how long will this take place? And it's at the Healing Center itself, correct?
It's at the Healing Center, 2372 St. Claude Avenue, and we'll have a market that opens at 5:30. We'll have altars throughout the lobby of the building that are absolutely beautiful and exquisite and moving and powerful. Done by numerous interfaith artists, and then the ceremony itself will start at 7 and run to about 10. And following that, we make a procession to feed the dead. And we say the praise names of our beloved dead, we pass flame, and again we say prayers in multiple traditions to honor the dead and welcome them back.
So dear, and once again, check the website for all the details. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about the New Orleans Healing Center, which has been such an important part of the St. Roch neighborhood. So thank you very much, Sallie, and I know you've worked very hard on that. But over to Tom and Wendell. And Wendell, speaking of working hard, the Satchmo Tribute has been a long time in the making. Tell us about the backstage aspect of this.
It's been over 2 years that we've been planning to do this thing. And this young man here did all the real hard work. I got the hard work on the stage trying to imitate Louis Armstrong. But he did all the real hard work, writing all the arrangements, and we're trying to keep it pretty close to the cuff of what Armstrong did, because we could get up there and play. We've played all these songs many times, hundreds of times before. But to play them like the Armstrong band played them, that's what Tom has provided for us. You know, we're committed to paper, we're not committed to paper, so we got a tender balance going there. And anyway, we're doing our best, and it's
That's
just
great.
Really great
Tom,
music.
Absolutely. And Tom, you have quite a history with the World War II Museum, and we're talking about, of course, BB's Stage Door Canteen. That's the wonderful space. Yeah, trying to cull through all the songs. Tom, that had to be pretty hard to decide which ones, huh?
Oh, yeah. Armstrong recorded 700 songs. And so Wendell was very instrumental in helping me decide on the 20 songs that we would be able to do in the course of an hour and 15-minute show. And we tried to trace Armstrong's career from his very beginnings with King Oliver's band in the 20s, and then even before that when he was playing in New Orleans with Kid Ory, and then take him all the way up through the 1970s when he passed in 1971, covering the gamut of his amazing career.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. And go ahead, I'm sorry, you're going to say?
No.
No, just to say, I'm so glad a little bit later you're going to play a song for us, or maybe a song and a half. But we're thrilled that you're here, and we'll be right back to you in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to Alan.
Well, you know, we have two reviews. First off, Leslie Castay stepped up her game as a director in a meaningful way with the brilliant casting she had for the Addams Family at the Jefferson Performing Arts Society. Of course, Enrico Canella as Gomez Addams, and the exquisite, lovely, and amazing singer Callie Russell as his wife Morticia. It's a big show with many moving parts. Canella really plays that comic foil against Russell's striking figure of Morticia. She dominates the stage in a way that few actors can, but there are the other people dominating the stage, the ancestors of the Addams Family. Everybody's having a ball in this. The show enjoys choreography by Camille Van Hoven, who is one of the ancestors, and it boasts a massive set by Eric Porter. Maestro Dennis Asaf conducts, and Michael Paonastro is the music director for this Andrew Lippa score with the lyrics. And there they are after the show, clearly having had a great time. While Gomez and Morticia are clearly the leads, also the heart of the book by Marshall Brickman and Rick Elise, the subplot of the love between Wednesday Addams, played by Maddie Fry, and Lucas Panicki, played by Marcus McLean, is also there. Christopher Bentavenia has taken about 9 years to come back to the stage, but he does so in a meaningful way with Uncle Fester's rendition of The Moon and Me, really buoyed by his commitment to stay in character, and it's one of the most satisfying of this production's numbers. You have, of course, other notables, such as Alice and Mal Beneke there, played by Jennifer DeLatte and Michael John Smith. Fantastic comedic counterparts. A great song near the end of Act 1 for Jennifer there called Waiting. And there you have, again, a lot of great technical aspects to this show. Sound design, makeup, wigs. Again, Leslie Castay, the director of this whole production. The Addams Family closes out this weekend, and it was announced last week that Cinderella will be moved to the spring due to repairs ongoing at the Jefferson Performing Artists Center that they have on Airline Drive, which because of the Ida situation is still continuing. Also finishing its run at UNO is Hoodoo Love. It's a four-hander student production of a play by Pulitzer Prize winner Katori Hall. A piece is set in the rural Deep South in the 1930s, where a single young woman uses the black arts to get a blues man to fall in love with her. There are a lot of adult themes in this, including physical and sexual abuse and incest. It's a tragedy that plays out over a 2-hour period at the UNO Robert Nims Theater with direction by Rishon May Wallace. Jai Wilson plays Tulu. Jaquan Monroe Henderson is the ace of spades, and there's Neil Eli playing Jib. Jala Price is the candy lady who tells Tulu just what she needs to make that spell happen. And also, want to remind everybody that it's going to be ending this week. There's another show coming up at the Zeitgeist Theater. They're going to be 40 years, Peggy.
Wow.
And again, they were starting out again on Aretha Castle Hasley Boulevard, but now they're out all the way in St. Bernard, right where the parish line is with Orleans. And they're going to have a play being done by Bina Sharif called Afghan Woman on Friday and Saturday, and then she's going to be performing a Life is a One-Act play on Sunday with her husband, Kevin Mitchell. Again, Afghan Woman first, and then Life is a One-Act play. And he, by the way, Kevin Mitchell is the great nephew of the great actor in film of Thomas Mitchell. You may remember from Gone with the Wind.
Okay, so that once again is the Afghan. All right, thank you very much. And moving over to Poppy.
Next weekend, it is a red letter day for all us foodies because the historic New Orleans Food Forum is happening. This year, it's hosted by Chef Kevin Belton. It's going to be exploring New Orleans street food and tailgating in South Louisiana. It's going to take place on Saturday, November 6th. And the actual forum is online and free. And then there's a reception following at the HNOC from 5 until 7 on Royal Street. And that's what's $25. The forum is free online. And then on Monday, November 8th, Cafe Carmo is hosting chef farmer Matthew Rayford. He is a 6th generation farmer from the book covers his Gullah Geechee recipes from generations back, and they're having a breast and yam dinner That's the name of his book, and that means Bless and Eat. Sunpai Barnes will be moderating a panel that night, highlighting the influences of the African diaspora, and it's going to benefit the United Homa Nations IDA recovery. So another way to eat good and do good and have a really great cultural experience on Monday, November 8th.
Thank you so much, Poppy. Eating good and doing good at the same time. Yes. Okay, like
My
that.
favorite thing to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And moving back over to Sallie Ann. And Sallie Ann, I mean, I can't tell you how many wonderful experiences I've had at the New Orleans Healing Center because it's so many things. It's a food co-op. It's Cafe Istanbul. But it's your very special shop, Salvation Botanica. What was the mission there when you and your husband opened up what was a furniture store, an old furniture store?
It was the Universal Furniture Store across from the iconic St. Roch Market. But we came together after Katrina, actually, and just a group of concerned citizens wanted to brainstorm ways that we could contribute to the rebuilding of New Orleans. And this is what we came up with ultimately. And we wanted to create a holistic center that was available to the entire community and would provide healing on every level of sustainability. So emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, environmental, every aspect of sustainability. And we have drawn together different businesses that address both a need in the community and one or more of those principles, and that could also work together synergistically so that the whole center is greater than the sum of its parts.
Well, I have to tell a story about you, Sallie Ann. A few years ago, I think during one of your special events, you were hosting, I think, 2 Tibetan monks, and they had spent hours and hours doing, I think it was in sand, a mandala, this incredible dial, a mandala, in the middle of the healing center, and apparently some little neighborhood kids came in and kind of messed it up, and you were mortified.
Yeah.
But what did the priest say?
So I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was in tears, and the monks came in and they pointed at the damage and they laughed. And they were very concerned that I was so upset and finally said to me, "It's about impermanence. We'll just do it again." And they swept it away and they redid it.
Once again, congratulations. I love that story for all of your efforts, though. Many, many thanks.
It was a great learning experience.
Absolutely. And now it's time for some music. We're going to hear Azalea take it away, Tom and Wendell.
It was a fine spring day down old New Orleans way, with fragrance divine, in such magnificent regalia, so fine. Azalea, oh, what a lovely sight in red, pink, and white. I do believe that nothing evil can assail ya. So naive, Azalea, you at ease under moss-covered trees, whose tops touch to make up our high ceiling in the church-like pomp of a cypress swamp. I've yet to have that same strange feeling. I've got to go down there, find that blossom fair that I've always dreamed of. 'Cause with you, who could be a failure? You're my first love. My very first love. Azalea.
Yay, thank you all so much. Wow, and just a reminder, now through November the 7th at BB's Stage Door Canteen at the National World War II Museum, do not miss Wendell and Tom with Swing That Music, tribute to Louis Armstrong. Congratulations, gentlemen. And you can go to their website, of course, the National World War II Museum.org for tickets. Get your tickets. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. And now moving over to Alan.
Yeah, and I hope to have a review on that for next week, since they're on the show this week. But I want everybody to know that they describe that song as the prettiest song you've never heard before. It really is a classic
beautiful song. Yeah.
So they were on my show, the NOLA Theater talk show last Monday, and had a great time. Again, while the Saints were playing, it gave us good news for that. But the cultural arts is going to be what we're covering this week on NOLA Theater Talk. We're going to be inviting the new executive director from the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra. That's, of course, Anwar Nasir. And we're also going to have the brand new executive director from the New Orleans Opera Association, Claire Buravac. So we wanted to let you all know that both of them will be on the show. Check it out on Monday. And then coming up on Friday the 5th, David Skinner from the Sanger Theater, and of course the Mahalia Jackson Theater, will be on, along with Michael Mitchell from the New Orleans Theater Association, to talk about their partnership between the Sanger and NOTA. And again, looking forward to having them on as well. Again, you can see it all on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and my own YouTube channel. Meanwhile, the Mudlark Public Theater, Peggy, if you remember, suffered a terrible fire a few years back. They're finally able to come back again, and they're going to do so in a meaningful way with Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill's Mahagoni Songspiel. Again, they use a lot of puppetry, etc., marionettes and what have you, so you'll check that out. Here's the information as to a new show that they're doing, again, November the 11th, 12th, and 13th, 8 o'clock, and then there's a special evening show on November the 12th at Saturday. Check out your tickets at browneventtickets.com, and you can check all that out as well. Meanwhile, Peggy, I also got word about Loyola University. They're offering several shows this year, starting up in November at the Marquette Theater, all in a day's work. And then coming up in December, Intimate Apparel will be with the Lower Depths Theater. And then going back into next year, in 2022, they have two more shows. Devise Project in February, right about a month or so before Mardi Gras. And then finally, the Go-Go's musical, Head Over Heels. And I know that Patrick Gendusa is really happy to see that presented finally. This is a great show. I recommend it very highly. Y'all go check that one out as well. And again, the last thing I want to remind everybody about is Shoshana Bean this week is going to be the guest on Seth Rudetsky's show, the Seth Rudetsky concert series. If you've never heard her belt, you're in for a real treat. Shoshana's holiday program last year was on demand and was one of my personal favorites. Check it out. Next week, it's Krista Rodriguez, and hopefully check that series out. It's a wonderful opportunity to have Broadway in your home.
It sure is. Thank you so much, Alan. Now time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
More Halloween fun to be had now, right through Halloween, at the Sazerac Bar. I'm ready to go, where you can get a zombie, a corpse reviver #2, or a blood and sand to just put you in the mood. And then from November 1st, the whole month of November, The Emerald Lagasse Foundation has announced that their bourbon, boudin, and beer is going to be back to the table this year. So there's a list of restaurants. You dine in the restaurants, and they are contributing to the boudin, bourbon, and beer to the Emerald Lagasse Foundation.
All right, thank you. Sallie Ann.
My pick is Krampus Returns to Swampus. And Krampus is a very wild and imaginative, creative Christmas time parade, but they say that they're allowing people to do car tours, that you stay inside your car, and they're going to show you the swamp where Krampus spends his time when he's not out with Kris Kringle discovering all the kids who were naughty during the year.
So look for that in a few weeks. Thank you. Tom and Wendell, some picks?
Yeah, once the show closes at the museum, Wendell and I will return to our regular stomping grounds at the Carousel Bar at the Hotel Montleon on Saturdays from 5:30 to 8:30 with a great quartet. Come join us there.
All right, and Wendell?
Tom and I are still up at the Cigar Bar on Tuesday nights. We've been up there almost 25 years.
Oh, love it.
And it's just, we get more music out of two pieces than I've ever heard, I swear. And I'm still at Preservation Hall on Thursday nights.
Wonderful.
So from 5:30 to 8:15.
Okay, thank you. Alan?
Peggy, the LPO was sort of, well, they didn't have any rain, but they closed out the event. If you remember, they were having a thing at City Park. But those of you who want to be at City Park with the LPO, go check out the Halloween Spooktacular on Saturday. They'll have pieces like Night on Bald Mountain, Funeral March of a Marionette, Dance Macabre. It's all free. Just make it out to the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra's reunion shelter at 4 Fredericks Avenue. And again, I'll see you at the theater.
Okay, and my picks on Saturday night, the 6 to 9 Social Aid and Pleasure Club will stage its annual pumpkin parade featuring baby dolls, marching clubs, bone gangs, folks dressed up as skeletons, and other groups. Forming at 6, they'll be lining up on Henriette DeLille Street right there by St. Augustine Church and the Back Street Museum. Check their Facebook page for more info, and you can even maybe go in there too. You can walk with them. All right, so we've got that going on. There's so many things happening around here too. Yes, indeed. And also, even many more. The Times-Picayune, the New Orleans Advocate, writer Tyler Bridges has a brand new book concerning his dad's World War II experiences. He has a signing that's at Octavia Books on Monday at 6 p.m. WYES will broadcast a history of the Desire Project, debuting Monday evening at 9 p.m. Memories of the Desire Neighborhood is told by early residents. I really recommend the program. It's a wonderful show. There are many events that are part of Fashion Week starting November the 4th. Go to NewOrleansFashionWeek.com for details on that too. And then don't forget, between October 30th and November 14th, we've got the Louisiana Book Festival. Go online and you can see some amazing, amazing events there too. Wendell, you can hear them. Wendell and Tom are closing out our show with Monday Day. Take it away. And thank you for watching. Happy Halloween.
Baby, that you promised me last Tuesday. Now don't forget, and please don't be late, 'cause that's gonna be my good news day. I'm gonna shine my shoes, tighten up my tie. I'm gonna step back, baby, look you dead in your eye. Now don't forget that Monday day, ooh, that you promised me last Tuesday.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villeray.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.